Muttering under my breath, I turn and show myself out of his room, waiting for him to call me back at any moment. When that call doesn't come, though, I head back towards my own chambers, feeling a little miffed. You finished college? Girl, I finished college years ago. Ugh. What a mess it's been since. Just as I thought we were making some progress, he's gone all frosty on me again. He's always frosty. Is it too much to ask for a little more friendliness? I don't need all of his attention, but he's so quick to dismiss me that I have to wonder if he even remembers my existence when I'm not around. Hey, as long as, you know, he gives us attention when we are around him, you know, that's all I can ask for as a lowly sub. In an attempt to distract myself from such brooding thoughts, I decide to mull over the circumstances of the Duchess's death in my head. See, I don't think Rivian needs to do any of this, because every time in every one of these routes, for all the detective work he does, it means nothing because he just gets kidnapped in the end by the culprit. So it's just get kidnapped already, hun. The glass of water was surely poisoned by whomever brought it to her room. Wouldn't that mean the servants would be the prime suspects? After all, they're the ones in charge of such things. That's just what they want you to think. I did see Hazel earlier. Maybe I can ask her a few questions. She probably wouldn't lie to me. I hope so, anyway. Rather than returning to my room, I change course and head back towards the main hall. Instead, as I emerge onto the upper floor's balcony, I notice there are relatively few guests around. Most are probably still outside at the festival, or dallying around doing frivolous, noble things in their rooms. I'm not a simp? I'm a sub? First, I'm not a simp or a sub. Okay? I mean, I'm a little bit of a simp, but don't tell anybody. But I'm a dom anyway. I head down the stairs trying to scan around for Hazel, or at least anyone who looks like they're a servant. Hi, Kuro, you miss my face. My face is too ugly right now to show, and my hair too. A woman in what looks like maid's attire scurries off into a side corridor, one I haven't explored myself yet. Deciding it's my best bet to follow her, I hurry in the same direction, trying not to give off a suspicious or creepy maid-chasing air. Ugh. Rivian's trying to get at under that skirt. When I enter the hall, its relative drabness is a stark contrast to the luxury of the guest room corridors. Well, this is servant life. No more fancy rooms and hallways and candelabras. Just cold, hard stone and, you know, meager lifestyle. I'd wager the numerous side rooms are for storage, kitchen, and perhaps the servant quarters. It's hard not to feel a bit guilty when I compare the cold-looking chambers to the extravagant warmth of my own. As I head deeper into the hall, a pair of voices suddenly drifts into earshot, steadily growing closer.
Oh, really? Where can he be? I wanted to ask him some questions about the masquerade. What a useless butler.
Whom, Silas?
Miss Celeste? Maybe he's attending to some important matters. I don't think it's fair to be so mean.
Alistair, you... get out of here. No one needs you here. I haven't forgotten what you've done. Huh? Don't I recognize both of those voices? Also, I feel like Celeste hasn't really... Has Celeste had any major role in any of these routes? I feel like she's just sort of been here every once in a while. I don't feel like she's done much. Maybe she'll do more in this route. I don't know. Maybe she'll be one of the villains in this route. I don't know. She's friends with Alistair. Sure enough, the two figures who appear from around the corner are the ones I've seen before, and we both stop to stare at each other.
Oh, it's Vivian! He's a nice boy I was telling you about earlier, Ali.
He is so handsome. Who's handsome? I? Bless thee. Thank you. Celeste is holding the hand of a young man I saw the other night, who blinks at me in surprise. I can't help but think he looks like a prisoner than a willing companion, or maybe a scared puppy being dragged along on a leash. You're an Alistair stan? Oh no. Are they a couple, or are they just friends? It's hard to tell. Whatever it is, though, it seems a little one-sided.
Fancy seeing you two here. What a coincidence, eh? It's almost like we're all trapped in this prison of a castle together.
Well, what a depressing thing to say. I think it's quite a lovely place. Alistair does too. Right, Ali?
I suppose it's a little stuffy sometimes.
So what was the point of even his speech impediment anyway? Did you think that would make him less suspicious? Because, you know, it didn't work. It never worked. Looking very dubious about Celeste's cheerful statement, Alistair averts his eyes to one side, shuffling his weight from one foot to the other.
That aside, what are you doing down here? These dark hallways don't strike me as the ideal date spot.
Actually, we were looking for that butler, Silas. He's normally always around the main hall and very attentive, but now I can't find him at all.
Celeste's words remind me of how Silas' mannerisms were markedly different this morning. So ableist wouldn't talk to him? Oh my god. I'm not ableist. Between his unusual attitude the other night and the way he's been acting today, the uncomfortable idea that he's somehow been related to the affair with the Duchess starts to surface in my mind.
Oh, by the way, did you happen to lose your room key? I found it lying in one of the chambers here.
Before I can reply, Celeste reaches in between her cleave. Thanks. Thanks for getting my key all covered in your fucking boob sweat. That's great. Is she actually storing things in there? And pulls out a small key. You know, it really smells a lot like BO. Take a fucking shower, bitch. When she hands it over to me, my first instinct is to point out that I still have my key, but the one she gives me has a little tag attached to it, reading quite clearly, Verison. I quickly pat my pocket, but sure enough, the other key is still there. In that case, does that mean this is a copy? Maybe for the servants, no doubt, the copy key used for planting that necklace in my room. But also, side note, I thought that why did the keys have my name on it, Verison? Is that what it said? Yeah. Oh, a tag attached to it. Okay, that makes more sense. I thought it was literally an engraved key with my name on it, and I was like, I've been here for a couple days. Why are they engraving my name on keys?
I saw the Inquisitor's key lying around too, but I don't really like him very much, so I just left it there.
Oh, I like you. A little chaotic. A little too sweaty, though. My key! And Linnaeus's? Oh, this is... If that's not a bizarre coincidence, I don't know what is. What are they? Are they planning to frame Linnaeus? Is he planning to frame Linnaeus? I bet he is. That damn Justiciar.
Miss Celeste, I don't think he's down here. Maybe we should try later.
Alistair pipes up nervously, interrupting my thoughts as he glances over at Celeste, who lets out a dramatic sigh.
I guess you're right. There's probably someone else we can ask anyway. Why don't we go play in the gardens? I'm getting a little sick of the cramped indoors.
Huh? Didn't you just say you liked the cast?
My Rivian. See you around soon, I'm sure.
With that, Celeste happily skips past me, tugging a confused Alistair along with her. You know what? I bet she is the ringleader of this whole Disciples of Ignatius bullshit. Okay? I bet she's got Alistair, Saber, who else was there? I think those are the only villains we know so far, really. But I bet both of them are working under her. Oh, I know.
Right.
Ooh.
Have
I know
fun.
the truth. Oh, she's probably also got Dracula working for her? Yeah, she does. She's got all the shady characters under her. I watch rather sympathetically as their shapes grow smaller in the distance, eventually disappearing into another hall. That poor boy. I feel a bit guilty for dragging Linnaeus around at the festival now. I hope I wasn't being a Celeste. Don't be a Celeste, guys. My thoughts, however, soon returned the key lying in my palm. Now that I think about it, there was one matter that I never resolved, and that was how the Duchess's jewels ended up in my bedroom. Well, clearly they used this key, Rivian. Could this key be the missing link? Oh, duh, maybe. Although, why was Linnaeus' key also lying around? His room wasn't broken into, at least not to my knowledge. Why the hell would they just leave the keys lying around? That doesn't make any sense. You know, after they commit a crime, they just leave the keys lying around? It only makes sense if Celeste is the mastermind. Driven by a hunch that this matter is somehow related to our case, I search around the surrounding hallways, peering into the various open doors in search of Linnaeus' key. Why didn't we at least ask Celeste where it was? I pass a few servants on the way, but I do my best to ignore their questioning looks. You were on TikTok? Oh, TikTok is a cursed place. You should not be on there. I pass a few no, I already read that. I'm a man on a mission after all.
Aha!
Sure enough, I spot the glimmering thing on the floor a few rooms away and hurry inside to pick it up. After I stuff it in my pocket along with the other two keys, I glance around the room to see if there's anything else suspicious or unusual. But it just seems like a regular storage chamber to my disappointment. You have 500 fans? People care about you? Oh, girl, come on. TikTok fame, is that what you're living for? Is that why you stay up so late? For that TikTok clout? Still, I sense that these will be important later. I'll have to show them to Linnaeus. Name 5 favorite characters of all yaoi games? Girl, I don't know. It's like... I don't know, that's hard. Maybe the first on the list is Arata, right? I think he might be first, I'm not sure. Does there even need to be a list after that? I mean, anything I say after Arata is just gonna be so much less and so much worse. It's like, what's the point of even continuing to name a few other characters I like? When he comes around from being all distant and withdrawn anyway. Hopefully that's a win and not an if. Alba? Dramatical Murder was trash. I'm sorry. It was a bad game, and I don't even want to think about that game. Ugh, it's so boring. Ugh. God, who actually liked it? If you liked Dramatical Murder in the chat right now, you know, let me know. I want to hear how many of you actually like Dramatical Murder. You know? Because it was so boring. God. With the reassuring feeling that I got something out of this otherwise fruitless search, I return to the chambers as evening settles in. Arata is an icon. Girl, you know it. He is. I spend a little bit of time relaxing, although when I try to indulge in a brief cat nap, I only end up rolling around restlessly without being able to actually fall asleep. When should I talk to Linnaeus about what I found? Tonight? Tomorrow? Should I wait for him to come to me? Dramatical murder had its moments. What moments? Like the gore porn scenes? Gore porn? Is that how I should phrase it? Well, they were pretty gruesome scenes. Is that those? Because those were the best moments for me, but they didn't last long. And you took too long to get there. I know I must be acting like a fool, but I just can't banish thoughts of him from my mind. I'm doing my best to ignore the implications of that, though I'm sure it's just a passing thing. What? When it comes to yaoi games, Bachikoi can't buddy and full service? Honey? You can leave the chat right now, okay? Go ahead, walk your little tiny white ass out of here. We don't need you. Driven by the growling of my stomach as the sky grows steadily darker, I leave my room and head down to the dining hall, hoping to catch a glimpse of a familiar face. Silas, Hazel, even Arden, I could really use someone who isn't Linnaeus to bounce my thoughts off of. However, as I pull up an empty chair and start to pick at dinner... Oh, I'm sorry, just laughing about how I tore into that chick. What's wrong with full service? Girl! Why don't you watch my videos on full service and you will see what's wrong with that game. You'll see what's wrong with that game, okay? You're a male? Oh, we're all girls in here. Get it together. Anyway, it's like, next thing you're gonna tell me you're a Hisami stan, okay? I bet you are. Ugh. I'm sorry. I can't keep discussing this. I must continue reading these lines. However, as I pull up an empty chair and start to pick at dinner, I don't spot anyone I know, which leaves me in an unpleasant pool of my own musings. Normally, I'd be immensely grateful to enjoy a peaceful meal, but right now it's only serving to sour my mood even further. I wind up abandoning my plate, mostly unfinished, and leave the dining hall restlessly. I wonder if I should hang around here to try and spot someone I know, but it's possible I'll just run into several individuals I'd rather not see. Deciding to go out into the gardens and enjoy the night air instead, I exit through the side door in the main hall, stepping out into the vibrant grass. Full service is nothing but a sex game. There's nothing about falling in love in it. That's also a good, that's appropriate criticism for the game. It's a lovely evening, and the moon glimmers down like a giant pearl as it ascends in the sky, surrounded by a multitude of stars. This loneliness keeps sticking around, which is a rare occurrence for a stalwart introvert like myself. Oh, honey, can you pass me some of that stalwart introvertedness? Because I need some, because I am lonely. And it's always around, my loneliness. It never goes away. If you could just help a brother out. I suppose it's partially because it's such a pretty night. One that seems like you're supposed to share it with another person. What a disgusting and awfully romantic way of thinking. What's come over me? I used to be perfectly happy spending time by myself, not requiring the company of anything other than some books or a platter full of sweets. In the past few years, I've only found the need for a couple of close friends, and even then we mostly communicate through letters with an occasional visit now and then. But now, I'm feeling weighed down with a sense that something is missing. I'd really rather not think about it. I'm sure the feeling will dissipate when I return back home anyway. I gaze up at the radiant sky as I stroll through the hedge maze, enjoying the charming mystique of guessing what's behind the next corner. I would have loved playing games of chase through here as a little boy. Even now I'd probably enjoy it quite a bit, although I'm not sure who I'd play with. What about Auden? Somehow it seems like one of those things lovers would do, a mischievous pursuit, with the losing party getting captured and ensnared in the arms of their beloved. Oh, Linnaeus, play hide and seek with me.
There I go again, like a lovesick maiden.
Quietly admonishing myself for entertaining such ridiculous thoughts, I let out a sigh, shaking my head. Maybe I'd better go back inside before I start coming up with spontaneous poetry or get the urge to dance naked before the moon? Huh? What? You on an acid trip? Why else are you dancing before the moon? A pagan ritual? It feels like we're about to... Yeah, feels like we're about to... coincidentally bump into one of these disciples. Something suddenly sparkles in the edge of my vision, catching my attention. When I glance over towards it, I notice a small object floating on the surface of a fountain nearby. It looks like it's made of glass. Approaching the fountain... What? That's a puny-ass fountain. Fucking looks awful. Approaching the fountain, I reach out to pick it up, examining it curiously. It seems to be a small bottle. Seriously, like, is this really a manor that we're at? What is this fountain? Looks like a water fountain. I guess. Maybe it is. When I squint closely, I think I can make out some white granules resting inside, the remnants of whatever was being kept within. You thought it was a water fountain? I know, I just said that. Why is something like this in the gardens, though? I could see it being dropped on the ground, but it's a bit strange for it to be in the fountain. A bird bath? That makes more sense. Well, it looks more like a bird bath, yeah. There's a slight crack in it, too, which makes me think it might have landed rather forcefully.
You there? What are you doing with that?
Oi, don't go throwing out accents at me. You'll speak American English to me, or not at all. A cold, aggressive voice suddenly cuts through the air. I whirl around to see an armored figure standing before me, helmet angled challengingly to one side. Is he referring to the bottle in my hand? Do I look suspicious or something? I guess I am the only one out here, and the guards probably are on more alert after the murder.
Nothing, sir. I just found this in the fountain and it caught my eye. Figured I'd see if anyone lost it.
Kuro, when are new episodes of Straight coming out? Haven't seen any in a while? Just curious. I bet you're curious. Okay, I'm not gonna have a meltdown like last stream when someone asked, when are you gonna finish Bocce Koi? I think that's what they asked. I'm not gonna have a meltdown about it. I don't know. Sometime eventually. I'm trying to finish every game I ever started, and I'm doing that right now, as you can see, because Chess of Blades was started a long time ago. So I can just tell you eventually. After my hasty attempt to diffuse the tension in the air, the guard takes a step towards me. You understand full service ain't for everyone, but dramatical murder wasn't your cup of tea. Girl, neither of them were acceptable in any way. I'm sorry. Full service was 10 times worse, though. Why do I get such a bad feeling from this man? He's wearing official armor. Is probably just being curt because he's following orders. He's a disciple. Stop asking when we're gonna finish other games. Yes, thank you. Yes. Say it louder for the people in the back. Yes. Like, do you not see me posting videos like several times a week? I'm trying. I'm trying to do everything. I'm trying to make everyone happy. Okay? But as he gets closer, I start to sense that something isn't right about him, and my blood runs cold.
Give that here. I'll turn it into the servants and have them notify the guests it was found.
Will you play the Yoshi DLC of Camp Buddy once it's out? Honey, did I not play the entirety of Camp Buddy and then the Taiga DLC? If there's more DLC for it, I'll play it. Why you gotta ask me questions like that? Why do everyone gotta ask me questions like that? I'm gonna lose it! I'm gonna lose it! He shoves an open, gauntleted hand towards me, impatiently indicating for me to give him the bottle. We appreciate your efforts, Kuro. Oh, I appreciate you too, pretty bead. My gut feeling, however, makes me reflexively recoil, curling my fingers tightly around the tiny glass vessel.
Well, what are you waiting for? Are you perhaps hiding something?
Is it Saber under there? Is that what his voice sounded like? I don't know, it's just so Irish or Scottish or something. You ready for Kuro's Tricepitis breakdowns? I don't even know how to say her name. Oh my god, I love her though. She's so awesome. She was great. Stop asking about Camp Buddy. Yes, please. This is a Camp Buddy free zone and don't you forget it. The guard's tone quickly sharpens an accusation, but I sense something that almost sounds like nervousness. He's awfully interested in this bottle. Could it possibly be his?
Hand it over now. Otherwise, I'll report you for suspicious behavior, and neither of us wants that.
Should I make a run for it? He's wearing enough armor that I could probably lose him quickly enough. We're on Linnaeus' route. Shit, Rivian, think of something to do. You can't just hand the bottle over, and he's got a weapon. What is the significance of this bottle anyway? Is it... Could it be the poison? The poison... Why? What is up with these disciples leaving around hard evidence everywhere? The fools just drop keys in storerooms, and they put bottles of poison on water fountains. As my mind races through a million different options in the span of a couple seconds, the sound of footsteps approaches us from one side. The guard's helmet abruptly swivels to face the newcomer. I'm tempted to seize the chance and dart away, but I recognize a tall, shadowed figure approaching us, and my feet freeze in place.
Now, what kind of unpleasant business is going on here? Guardsmen aren't supposed to corner guests and treat them like criminals.
Justiciar! He scolds the armored man looming over me, and to my relief, the guard takes a reluctant step back.
Sir, I just found him alone out here, holding on to that.
Sometimes you feel there are only 4 to 5 actually good yaoi games. Actually, there's only, like, 1, okay? Sorry. Maybe, like, 2. And why Press Games made them. Yes.
I've heard just about enough excuses. Go scurry back to the castle now, and let me have a word with this poor, adorable little thing.
Ah! No! No, do not interact, Raphael. Do not interact. The Justiciar motions with his cane for the man to leave, frowning at him slightly.
Yes, sir.
Camp Buddy was good, though. You're simping! You're simping for Camp Buddy! You're simping! Despite clearly hesitating and probably sending me a vitriolic glare beneath his helmet, the guard turns away, stalking off through the gardens in the direction of the castle. I let out a quiet sigh of relief, running my thumb over the glass bottle just to make sure it's still there. For now, I slip it into my pocket, hoping to take a better look at it later. Turning his focus exclusively onto me, Raphael reaches up to adjust his hat slightly, his bright eyes sparkling in the moonlight. Rivian? Okay. You need to stop talking about how brightly the Justiciar's eyes are sparkling. Because this ain't the first time you brought it up, and it's getting weird. It's uncomfortable for me. He puts on a confident, dashing smirk, which somehow suits his theatrical aura.
So uncouth, aren't they? Oh well, everyone's a little on edge with this awful murder business going on. I hope he didn't shake you up too much, my pretty friend.
What? Why press dodgy? Excuse you, honey. Their games are fantastic. Yeah, I mean, the art in, what's it called? Morning Dew Farms. Yeah, I mean, it's they're using different artists for each game, you know, so some of the games are different from each other, you know, in terms of art quality. But, you know, I really like the story, you know, the stories in their games, and the comedy. Oh, the comedy, it's perfect.
No, I'm quite alright. I appreciate your intervention, though. He was giving off the air of an angry dog before it snaps. Rather unpleasant.
The Justiciar gives a sympathetic click of his tongue in response, shaking his head gently. Then, gesturing for me to follow him, he turns on his heel to head towards the maze exit, back into the normal gardens.
Come, this way. There is something I'd like to tell you now that I have a moment to enjoy your company undisturbed.
My curiosity is immediately piqued by a straightforward invitation. Something to tell me. Wait, something to tell me. Why can't I read this? What? Something to tell me? I wasn't sure he really remembered who I was to begin with. I struggled with that. I hurry to catch up to his side, but Raphael slows his long stride somewhat so that I can walk more leisurely along with him. What, we're being beat out by Grandpa? He's so damn tall, even more so than most of the other giant men in this damn place. Curse my vertically challenged bloodline.
Ah, such pulchritudinous beauty my eyes are blessed with, and the night sky is thoroughly lovely, too.
That you better not be talking about me, Grandpa. Oh my god, he was. What was I passing off before as idle remarks? What is English? What I was passing off before as idle remarks has now definitely crossed the boundary into blatant flirtation. No! I don't get with 60-year-olds. I don't do it. Raphael grins down at me shamelessly, even offering a wink, which makes my cheeks start to burn a little.
That is, quite kind of you to say, Sir Justiciar. Might I ask, though, what it is you wanted to say to me?
And stop blushing. When someone with the saggiest balls you probably ever see, you know, compliments you or flirts with you. I attempt to steer the conversation back on track, feeling a little uncomfortable from such direct compliments. Is everyone after this boy? He is the most eligible twink at this soiree. The justiciar chuckles at my slightly flustered words, and the feather in his hat flutters in the wind as he nods.
Just Raphael is fine, my dear. As for what I wish to say to you, well, it is in regard to your ill-advised association with my cousin.
Linnaeus? How could it be ill-advised? He's the only one I can trust here. His voice grows more serious and my heart jumps in anticipation. Linnaeus warned me about Raphael, and now Raphael warning me about Linnaeus. Oh yeah, well, yeah, like that's hard to decide who we should believe. Who on earth am I supposed to believe? You believe Linnaeus?
That man is inhuman in his dedication to his work. At the end of the day, he'll gladly toss aside anyone or anything, just so he can fulfill the goals he has in mind.
Sounds a lot like you, bitch.
And so I'm a little worried about a starry-eyed youth like you, since I've seen the two of you together several times. I quite understand the appeal of an elusive man like the Inquisitor, but I fear you may suffer the consequences of growing close to someone so ruthless.
Sorry, can't tell if you're warning me about Linnaeus or about yourself, motherfucker. While my first instinct is to be suspicious of Raphael, his voice is surprisingly grave, and for some reason I get the feeling that he's experienced something like what he's talking about firsthand. Stop believing him. He sounds slightly bitter, but also sad somehow. God, if we even have the slightest bit of doubt towards Linnaeus, and like when we hang out with Linnaeus later, and we're like not, and if we don't like fully trust him later, I'll be so mad. If because of this, oh my god, I'll be mad. I remember Linnaeus saying how skilled he was at putting down people's defenses, but I can't help but wonder if there's truth in Raphael's words.
Well, I did get a sense he loves his work more than anything. It's as if that's all he can think about. I just wish I could get him to see that there's more to life than one's duties.
Raphael's out here like, shouldn't trust Linnaeus, he's... he might be the culprit out here, and Rivian's just like... I wish he'd notice how juicy my ass has been looking lately. I've been doing squats for him, but he doesn't even pay attention. Raphael's lips twist into a faint, wry smile at that, and he gazes up at the sky with a gentle exhale.
Ah, so did I, my little waif. Before his parents fled the kingdom, you'd be hard-pressed to find a sweeter, gentler boy than the same one we call Linnaeus. But oh, how he's changed.
His parents abandoned him? What happened?
Oh! I hate this game! I hate this game! Oh my god, happens every time I play! I hate this game! Oh, what a piece of shit! What a piece of shit this game can be! Every fucking time! Every fucking time! It's quite the shit show, everybody. God damn it all. Oh, Lord. Oh, we've skipped too far! God damn it! We skipped too far. Ugh, I need to be more careful. Ugh. Gods be damned. Okay, wait, oh, wait, no, I can go a little further. I can go. Okay, no, okay. Wait, no, I can go a little further. Oh, okay, no, okay. I need to. Wait, I can go a little further. Okay, no, okay, okay, okay. Alright. Okay. Alrighty. Let's.
Ah, so did I, my little waif. Before his parents fled the kingdom, you'd be hard-pressed to...
His parents abandoned.
Every scene transition, though, guys. Literally every scene transition. The game just can't handle it. Let's get on with it. As we walk down the path, Raphael motions to a nearby bench, and I follow to sit down beside him. Yeah. Well, it's a close-up on his face. His towering height, which is only accented by his hat, seems less intimidating when we're seated. Crossing one leg over the other, the justiciar turns to study me for a long moment, as if considering his words. That mustache needs help? Hey! Hey! I watch him curiously and notice a keenness in his eyes that I hadn't observed before. It's easy to lose in the dramatic sparkle that's usually there, I suppose.
It's something of a long tale, you see, but I shall make it as concise as possible to keep your interest focused on me, my dear. It's best to start by saying how much the Inquisitor loved his mother and father, and how much they loved him.
He taps his fingers thoughtfully on his leg, and even though he meets my gaze, his own looks slightly wistful and far off. I'm really glad that Grandpa's giving us a nice bedtime story.
My aunt and uncle were wonderful people, or at least that's what I believed, until they were found guilty of plotting with a treacherous organization to sabotage the king.
Not the disciples! A treacherous organization, he said. I wonder, could it be the same one Linnaeus mentioned earlier?
Faced with the prospect of execution after their crimes were made public, the two of them fled, leaving Linnaeus behind. It was a terrible weight on my cousin, who felt like his parents had not only betrayed their country, but also their own child.
So, why does Rivian look like he's not looking at... It doesn't look like he's looking at Raphael. It looks like he's just sort of looking off into the distance or something, or past him. It's weird. It's really weird. Also, damn, they look fruity like this together. The Justiciar is just serving mad fucking fag vibes, I think. Look at him. But alright.
No wonder. I'd feel the same way. Did he stay with you after his parents left?
Raphael shakes his head in response, his expression darkening ever so slightly.
No, unfortunately not. It seems his unusual circumstances, as well as the promise he showed for such a young boy, caught the eye of none other than the king himself. And so His Majesty took him in to be trained and raised by the royal advisors, weaning him on loyalty and justice. That's why he feels so indebted to our gracious regent. To make up for the crimes of his parents and to repay the debt of his upbringing, Linnaeus is determined to do whatever is necessary to hand over a culprit for every crime.
He looks like he's zoning out. It's a story's longer than Rivian wanted. His eyes drift towards the ground, and it becomes difficult to read exactly what he's thinking. It sounds like he's a little jealous, but I can't tell if it's of Linnaeus' favor with the king or the king's favor with Linnaeus.
He mentioned that you two were very close. I suppose after he was taken in by the king, you started to grow apart?
Indeed. I loved him dearly, more so than even my own siblings, but He's no longer the sweet cousin I once knew. He has become a cold, bitter shadow of his former self, and I fear there's no way to ever get him back.
It's difficult for me to imagine a Linnaeus who isn't cold and bitter, although I think I might have seen a glimmer of his former warm self when we were at the festival. I can understand the way he acts a little more, but I can't stop myself from wanting to break him out of that icy shell.
And that's why I wish to warn you, so that your gentle heart isn't fractured in such a way as mine was. There are few things in life as cruel as spurned love, and often those scars never fully heal.
Alright, I'm sorry. I just had to read that because I wasn't paying attention. I can't argue with that. My worst fear would be for Linnaeus to completely shut me out, or worse, to pump me, dump me, and throw me out, filled up with his cum. As much as I'd like to believe Raphael is just exaggerating, I've seen how passionate Linnaeus is about his work, and how quickly he can shift from human warmth to a natural detachment.
Ah, your lovely visage has darkened so, like the radiant moon hiding its light behind the clouds. Come, let's see us smile once more. You are young, and you mustn't let yourself be so weighed down.
Oh, Isaac, come on. First of all, I pinged Lindsay. Like, let's just get that out of the way. I pinged Lindsay. She didn't respond. She must be sleeping or something. And you, Isaac, you don't even care about Chess of Blades. You wouldn't, even if I pinged you, you would have showed up to the stream for like 2 minutes, and then you would have left. You don't care about Chess of Blades. And I'm not even playing whatever it's called today. I'm not playing, what's it called? Newfound Courage? You don't care about Chess of Blades. You don't care about me. He presses a fingertip under my drooped chin to lift my face back up. This is bad touch, Grandpa. Bad touch. A sly smile crossing his lips invitingly as his jade eyes glimmer at me in the moon. Okay, that is 3 times, Rivian. That is 3 times you have talked about his glittering emerald jade eyes or whatever. You need to stop because you're falling for this senior citizen.
It just happens that I am yet without a partner for tomorrow's masquerade. Perhaps you'll care to join me, and we can dance away such unhappy thoughts.
You care about me? Uh-huh. Remains to be seen. No F's for Isaac. No F's for Isaac.
Yes, perhaps. I'll have to see if I feel like dancing.
The strange enthusiasm. Wait. Did he say he's gonna dance with us? No. Ooh, no. Not with I. The strange enthusiasm I felt at the I told you guys I was gonna be pissed. I was gonna be pissed if talking to the Justiciar soured Rivian's relationship with Linnaeus, and I am pissed. Listening to this senile old man. Ugh. My god. If we don't dance with Linnaeus at the masquerade, I'm gonna be throwing hands. I'm not sure if I could endure several hours of being cooed at by I'm not sure if I could endure several hours of being cooed at by this oversized pigeon of a man, even if I wanted to spite the Inquisitor. Spite the Inquisitor! Ooh! I don't want to spite the Inquisitor. I want the Inquisitor's favor. I want his D. I want his load. I pull away from Raphael and stand up, dusting myself off and offering the Justiciar a slight bow.
Playing hard to get, are we? Very well. Until then, my sweet, do be careful. Let's not forget, we still have a murderer at large.
I should let you know I'm actually only 17, Raphael. I might call CPS on you.
That is a fact I would find rather hard to forget.
Grrr, I'm angry. I'm angry. He ends up following me back to the castle, and as much as I try to disentangle myself from him, he sticks to my side rather persistently. He doesn't understand personal space! Bitch, no one likes a clingy, saggy, liver-spotted, motherfucker. Get out of here. When we reach the guest rooms, as we pass by his own, Raphael insists on writing his room number on a piece of parchment so that I can come visit him before the masquerade. He's out here trying to arrange a booty call. If anyone is going to be calling my booty, it's Linnaeus, and he's not calling it. I accept the scrap of paper rather dubiously, briefly glancing over his handwriting. It's flamboyant and full of swirls, but I can make out the numbers as well as an ornate "Come see me soon" drawn on the back. I let out a sigh of relief after Raphael finally lets me leave, and I hurry away before I can call out again. As I return to my room, though, his words continually resurface in my mind. I'm not sure why he'd lie about the past when he knows I could easily ask Linnaeus if it was false. So I don't doubt that his story holds the truth. The most sensible option, of course. Alright, well, you know what? I'm gonna save the game right here because Rivian is having some kind of brain aneurysm because I don't understand the flow of logic being made here.